Why is it that so many influencers are suddenly switching to become pop stars? These days, influencers aren't just promoting products for paid sponsorships, some are even trying to expand the brand by reaching for a life of artistry. This means that the modern day pop star is no longer discovered in a record studio booth anymore, but most likely on our TikTok For You page. We're watching the birth of a new kind of celebrity, one built on algorithms, followers, and viral moments, instead of the old school type where there were talent scouts doing this job. This leads us to our main question of today's video, which is, what happens when creators trying to turn followers into fans? Today, we'll be exploring this topic, breaking it up into 3 parts, and to keep this intro short, let's just get right into it. To start this story off, we have to take it all the way back to 2019. The atmosphere of the internet during this time period was quite unique because at the time, everyone around the globe was experiencing isolation. So following new creators and influencers online became more than just entertainment. It became an emotional escape, and in many ways, it was like a shared digital living room for an entire generation. As for the creators, they weren't necessarily creating content with the aim of becoming famous, as many were just filming in their living room or in their bedroom that was messy in the background. Lip syncing videos were very popular at this time, and also participating in many different dance trends such as Renegade, Say So by Doja Cat, Savage by Megan Thee Stallion, and Tap In by Saweetie. And as mentioned before, these trends made it possible for creators to be able to build relations with their followers and essentially grow a very large audience quite quickly. Addison Rae, before she was more of an influencer, but today she does music and much more. She was one of the first to blow up at this time to what seemed to have been overnight as well. Addison initially gained fame through dance videos on TikTok during the app's peak growth period, and her appeal came from her charisma as well as her participation in the Hype House amongst other young creators, where they would just gather in one house and create a bunch of content. But it's not as common for people to do those type of content houses today as it was a few years ago, except from the Bop House. During this era of the internet, it was a very playful environment, but it wasn't only playful and entertaining because there were a lot of major cultural and political movements that were unfolding as well. Following the passing of George Floyd in 2020, platforms like TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter became flooded with activisms and online discussions. I'd say that influencers quickly realized that participating in trendy conversations, whether sincerely or performative, could increase engagement and visibility. And why do I say this? I say this because looking back at how some influencers did we might not be the same, but that's not important. Freedom to, I'll just add the trend here. Looking how they did that trend, it's a little bit like you want to laugh when you see it because people might not even have done their research behind why it was trending and what happened with, for example, George Floyd and all the other Black people who were a victim to police violence in the US. They were probably just doing a trend that promoted equality and that was about it. But this was definitely around the time where it was clicking for influencers that, oh, if you jump on this trend, people might think that you agree with what the trend is about, and eventually you'll get more followers. So we're gonna move the tape a little bit further behind. I know that we're supposed to be going forward, but let's take it back a bit more. So there was another influencer who went by the name Baby Ariel. She was very popular during the Musical.ly times, the Musical.ly era, okay? Baby Ariel had already shown how ordinary teenagers could build massive audiences simply through relatability and consistency. During the rise of Musical.ly, she was one of the first to help establish the blueprint for influencers who transitioned to Popstar singers, and at the same time, the music industry was changing a lot itself. Songs were increasingly spreading through trends, edits, and viral moments online rather than on a radio station where people would pay to be heard. Now you could just post a video where you're dancing from your phone for free and go viral, and your song would get more views and ratings. Even during the early days of influencer culture, there were hints that social media fame could eventually evolve into something much bigger, and fans wanted to support influencers in every single possible way, whether that was going to their meet and greets or buying their merchandise, which was very popular at the time. I know myself, I used to love Baby Ariel and I wanted to go to her meet and greets even though I live in Sweden and it's not as common. The slow shift for self-promotion was made in a way that still seemed mundane. Influencers still filmed get ready with me videos and casual vlogs, but behind the scenes, the influencers were generating sponsorships, which eventually opened the doors for mainstream entertainment. But I feel like the transition from being a normal influencer who people see themselves through you and the way you live your life, I mean, she has quite a life that many people can't afford already, like her starting point. But you know, to going to becoming now a celebrity, people might have not known how to take that in. And she was also making connections with the Kardashians, hanging out with them. She was building a brand for herself by taking the opportunities that were coming her way into mainstream entertainment. But it was of course not like this for all creators turned into pop stars, because some audiences resonated with it and they actually continued supporting, whilst for others it might have backfired. I definitely say that the biggest issue with the influencer turned pop star PipeLine was the authenticity, because social media itself had started to become increasingly commercialized to where the content that were being posted no longer felt accidental. Everything felt very strategic and planned out. The turning point here was when audiences started to realize that this shift between creator to pop star was no longer temporary. This was the route that people genuinely wanted to take to better their lives. And who are we to judge them for that? I mean, you would take that opportunity too. Influencers are no longer trying to become celebrities. They are the new celebrities. This becomes especially clear through artists like Tyla, who rose through her single Water. One viral moment can instantly transform someone into an international superstar overnight. To answer our last and final question on what this shift means for the music industry, it's clear to say that the music industry is no longer like it used to be. Traditional celebrity culture used to depend on separation between celebrities and ordinary people, but influencer culture erased that separation entirely. And to draw a parallel between this and also give Sweden the recognition that it deserves, we see celebrities like Zara Larsson who have figured this out and who is capitalizing off of the fact that people enjoy to see celebrities being themselves. She posts to her followers as if it was a FaceTime call. She talks to them as if they're real people and builds that connection and engagement with them as an influencer would, which has really been to her favor and her just blowing up entirely overnight as well. I've used that word so many times in this video, but it's true. People are having their lives changed in the blink of an eye, and it's so amazing to see how social media is the tool for this. And apart from that, creators have now also learned how to emotionally retain audiences in ways that traditional celebrities never had, apart from Zara Larsson, because she does that really well. They've understood parasocial relationships, audience engagement, algorithm culture, and constant visibility better than most established artists. And because of this shift, the modern entertainment industry no longer separates influencer culture from music culture. They are now interconnected systems. So next time an influencer drops a new single and everyone online is complaining about it, remember that the algorithm only pushes things that you keep watching. But those are just my thoughts. What do you guys think? Do you think that social media has created the new artistry form or just a way of branding better? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you like this video, do feel free to give it a huge thumbs up. And if you like these types of videos, subscribe for more content. And with that said, I will see you guys as always in my next one. Bye.